Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hang out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
And today we're going to add some secret police into your D&D game. Hey guys, I want to start this video by thanking our awesome sponsor, Gnomeworks. They have a Kickstarter going on right now for these awesome wooden dice box. Just remember, no wood nymphs were harmed in making this product. Listen to the end of this video, and we're going to tell you how you can win one of these gorgeous dice boxes from Gnomeworks. The Kickstarter is going on right now, so you can check that out as well. And if you want to see these things in action and more of them, check out our Quest and Adventures number 45.
All right, so we're gonna do a character build inspired by these awesome creations, and we're talking gnomes.
We are so we wanted to create basically a gnome organization and like the typical agent for said organization. So we got the ever vigilant agent of the hidden hand.
That's quite a mouthful.
Well, they're gnomes after all. So the idea, I mean, there's a little inspiration going on from Zalargo of Eberron and their gnomes. In our world, we have the gnomish city of Trinemit. And what these agents do, they're like the secret police. And they're making sure that everything is running smoothly. No one's not doing anything they shouldn't be. And the biggest problem about the hidden hand is you never know when they're around and when they're not. I'd also see them as sending agents into other kingdoms to investigate and make sure, everything is going the way they want it to do. Maybe they're trying to influence diplomatic relations. I see them as being like master manipulators in schemers of all things. But, always they're faithful to the crown of Trinemit, and they're working for the betterment of gnomes as they see it.
So then how would we go about making something like this? So this is someone who's got to be able to change their appearance,
blend in,
have infiltration skills, and be able to get away with whatever information that they're sent to obtain unobtrusively.
And for gnomes, we have Snurfneblin, we have the rock gnome, also known as the tinker gnome, and then we have the forest gnome.
Exactly. Now, your rock gnome, you get intelligence and constitution. Zurfneblin and forest gnomes get intelligence and dex. So it's going to work, either they're going to wind up being the same stat-wise.
But so now, I think this time, we definitely want that dex because it's going to lend itself later to some of the things we're looking at. And that is, the forest gnome is going to work well. Also, not only that, the forest gnome also gets illusion magic.
Yes, that is a key factor in our research, that having access to an entire cantrip, it's not a good combat spell, but it's useful in every other method. It's like, oh, I need to cause a distraction. Sure. I need to make it look like something's going on. Sure. Like, you can just pop it out there, no problems.
Now, one of the other aspects we were talking about to this organization, to agents, they're also good deceivers. They're good at gathering information. We kind of said that. But I think they're really good at, like, intimidating their opponents or prisoners, and they're probably really subtle about it. And it's funny because they're gnomes and they're little, but I like the idea, and maybe they do it from different ways. Like maybe their intimidation isn't like, oh, threats of violence or harm, but like, oh, you know what, we have this information, whether they really do or not, as long as they can sell it, they threaten and intimidate via blackmail and things like that. And subterfuge.
Yeah, everybody's got a little bit of dirt somewhere. So, especially when we're talking about a D&D-esque kind of world, it's like, all right, well, if I can't blackmail you, I can lay some threats on someone you care about.
Right. I don't think these guys go that route. I think they're more likely, if they can't blackmail you because you're squeaky clean, they're going to plant the evidence so that they can blackmail you. And that's what I'm kind of seeing here. So we're going to go a little bit of a different route. One, we need a skill monkey, right? So that's rogue, obviously.
Yes.
And then we're looking like thief doesn't really work for us. Assassin doesn't really work for us. Not for these guys. They want to get in. They want to get out. They want to be unnoticed. They want to, they just want to blend in or be able to gain information without being known. Because, like, that's going to be their, like, main
Well,
currency.
the getting information without being noticed, you're not going to get better than that than the arcane trickster's ledger main. Like, oh, there's something over there on the table. All right, well, I'll mage hand it over to me, and my mage hand's invisible. When it picks it up, the thing becomes invisible. So it's going to come over and put it in my pocket. I didn't do a thing.
Well, and not only that, right? It's skill heavy. Arcane Trickster gets illusion and they get enchantment, so they can make themselves look different, and then they can use enchantment to charm and get the information out of them. So even after they realize they've been charmed,
it doesn't matter. They've already gotten away.
They've already gotten away, and they think it's somebody else that did it, and that's the whole idea. Like, I want these guys to be like Insidious. In the way they do things, and that's why they're scary.
Right.
They're scary because you never know, if they're listening, if they're watching, if they're among you.
You could literally be in a tavern having a drink, and the drunk is really just putting on a performance. He's been drinking water the whole night.
And then they do the same thing by infiltrating other kingdoms and influencing the politics. So there's a lot of that going on as well. So, because they're rogue, they already get a lot of the skills they need. Like, part of us were like, looking at different things like charlatan. We're like, you could have different identities. That one might work. We're looking at criminal, like really doubling down on being a rogue. The spy variant would make sense. But then, like, we wanted to do something maybe a little bit different. And they are a military faction.
So you came up with the idea of having it be a soldier, because they're part of this military. They're the force. It's highly trained. Like, they're not going and standing on the front lines like the typical soldier, but they're military. They've
been
like trained
Black
to go
Ops.
do this. Yeah.
They're special forces. So we decided to go with military. That's our background. That's our class. That's our race and sub-race. Now let's take a look at stat arrangement.
So we were talking off air that intelligence is your key spellcasting modifier, or key ability for spellcasting, but you don't need it right off the bat.
Yeah, it all depends. Like, it depends on exactly what you're trying to do with your spellcasting. Now, if we do go heavy with enchantment and charms and that kind of stuff, that's going to be saving throws. So we're going to have to take that into consideration. But initially, we were thinking like infiltration and illusion. That one doesn't matter as much. So you could go several different ways. One, we're like, well, if we don't want to have any low stats, we could always just dump intelligence, have a 10, until third level, it doesn't even matter, and then just start increasing as we go.
The only hit that you're going to suffer is your investigation is going to be at a deficit because you put your low stat there.
Yes. But that being said, with expertise, you can double it. And by 10th level, you would have you would have a 16, even if you dumped intelligence.
Yes, rogue getting 6 stat bumps over the course of their career. You only need 5 of them to get that to be a 20, and you can put your other one to get your dex up.
Yeah, I feel like all the skills are going to be kind of important to this character. I mean, all the stats are going to be kind of important to this character. That being said, like intelligence, or not intelligence, but strength might be your next lowest score. But because they're in the military, I kind of don't want to. I didn't want to dump it. Like, I didn't want to go give them the 8 into that.
Right.
So like maybe we put the 10 there, which 10 is average, and that's not bad for someone who's like 3 foot tall, in my opinion. Anyway,
that frees up a decent score to be able to put into charisma, which is going to be necessary for your interpersonal skills, your deception, your intimidate, and your persuasion.
Right. And I would actually, as the rogue, I would take all my expertises and put them in the social skills. Maybe investigate, which isn't a social skill, but it'd be important to this character. But deception, intimidate, persuasion. So that's the other thing too. Like, maybe you don't really even need to lean on those enchantment spells as much, because
you're a fast talker.
And you could literally take friends or something like that, as your cantrip, and get get advantage on those social skills as well. And they're always in disguise anyway, so chances are people aren't going to be able to put two and two together. Never know which gnome they were talking to. Yeah, especially in a city of gnomes, that wouldn't be an issue at all.
That's true.
Down below in the description, you can find the link to enter the contest to get your own dice box from Gnomeworks.
So, would you guys use the ever-vigilant agent of the hidden hand in your game? What do you guys think about it? There's a great place to continue that conversation. That's down in the description below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Hey, and while you're going down there, feel free to check out the Kickstarter from Gnomeworks as well.
So until next time, stay nerdy.